Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, life really unfolds exactly the way we've planned. I've noticed over the years that careers change, doors close, opportunities, they appear unexpectedly, and seasons will shift. But you know what? Somewhere between what we expected and what actually happens, leaders like ourselves will find ourselves asking, how do I keep moving forward when I don't know what's next? I'm ready to get this conversation, and I know you are too. Come on, let's get started. Welcome to Transformation Station Leadership Podcast, where we are the place for leadership, resilience, and mindset transformation. I'm your host, Adrienne Benton, and I'm so grateful that you have joined us today because today's conversation is one that every leader can relate to. We can relate to it because we're talking about uncertainty, which is something that we all experience. And whether you're navigating a career transition, leading through organizational change, making difficult decisions, or simply wondering what comes next, this conversation is for you. Now, before we get into the conversation, I do want to say we have an announcement today. Are you ready? I know you are. What is the announcement? Well, the announcement is here we go. Because of you, that's right. Because of you, we hit 6,700 podcast downloads. I'm so grateful to you and to this community for consistently keeping Mobilizing with Impact and Transformation Station on your radar. Now, here's the deal. You notice again that we are in season 4, which means if you have missed even one episode of season 1, season 2, season 3, or season 4, I need you right now to go ahead and watch and listen to the replays. Each conversation is full of leadership principles and leadership best practices that you don't want to miss. And as always, I want to encourage you, don't keep this goodness to yourself. You absolutely must share it with someone else. Now, today I have the honor and privilege of hosting the podcast myself. And you know what we're going to do today? We're going to do something a little bit different. And what we're doing today is I'm going to share with you 7 questions that I have received as it pertains to this particular topic of how do we stay anchored in the midst of uncertainty. I'm going to share the questions with you and then I'm going to answer them. Now, here's what I'm inviting you to do. As you are watching this, whether you're watching live with us right now or you're watching on the replay, I'm inviting you to share this episode with someone else and also tell me, where are you watching or listening from? And as we go through each question and as we're answering them as a community, I invite you to comment in the chat so we can continue to grow together. All right, here we go. So we're talking about purposeful living. We're talking about how do we continue to move forward in the midst of uncertainty. All right, so question number 1 is this. Often uncertainty causes leaders to feel stuck or to feel undefined and overwhelmed. And the question that I received is, how do you define purposeful living when the future feels unclear? This is a really great question. So what I have seen over the years is that purposeful living means continuing to live according to our values, even when we don't have complete clarity about the future. Not always easy. But I've learned that purpose is not dependent upon my knowing every detail of the journey. It's reflected in how I choose to show up each day. I'm going to say that a different way. Purposeful living is not dependent upon leaders knowing every detail, every step. It's reflected, our purpose is reflected in how we choose to show up each day. And so I'm asking you, how are you choosing to show up? Because when our purpose is clear, uncertainty becomes easier for us to navigate because our identity isn't tied to changing circumstances. I had a situation recently that happened and things were a little cloudy, and I found myself reacting emotionally instead of responding thoughtfully. Mm. And what I noticed later was that in the emotional reaction, my purpose was not clear. Mm. I was allowing myself to respond to the moment as to react to the moment as opposed to responding to the bigger picture. So it's important for us to one, when we find ourselves in uncertainty, to give ourselves room to get clear on our purpose. What is important right now? What is true right now? And we'll find that as we answer these questions, it'll be easier to navigate because our identity, our worth, our value will still be intact and will not be tied to the circumstances that change around us. And here's a great leadership principle that I want to share with you. It says purpose provides direction when certainty is unavailable. Remember that. Purpose provides direction when certainty is unavailable. Go ahead and share in the comment section. Tell me, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on how we can define purpose, right? And how we can move forward in the face of uncertainty. All right, here's question number 2. Many leaders wait until they feel confident before taking action. So the question is, why do you believe purpose often requires movement before certainty? Really, really great question. Well, again, what I have found is that confidence often follows action, not the other way around. Let me say that again. Confidence often follows action, not the other way around. Think about this. If you and I, as leaders, if we wait until every question is answered, we will likely miss opportunities for growth. I'm asking you right now, what are you sitting on the sidelines waiting? You're waiting for the right moment, waiting to have the finances, waiting to have the right team, waiting until somebody gives you permission. And in the midst of you waiting until you know everything, until you can see everything clearly, you're missing out on opportunities to learn, opportunities to grow, opportunity to persevere, opportunity to strengthen your character and your resolve. I have found that purpose invites us to trust enough to take the next step. Purpose invites us to trust enough to take the next step, even when we can't see the entire path. Like, this is life. Life causes us to walk forward courageously. You and I get to choose every day if we're going to walk forward courageously, or if we're going to stand still, or if we're going to back up. Purpose, when we talk about purposeful living every single day, as we become aware, as we hold on to our purpose, our focus, we will daily have an invitation to trust just enough to take the next step, even when we can't see the entire path. That's called courage. And what I found over the years is that progress creates clarity. So I'm going to give you a best practice that I'm going to share with you. And it says, identify one meaningful action you can take today rather than waiting for perfect conditions. What is one meaningful action? Action, that means movement. You do something. What's one meaningful action that you can take today rather than sitting down and waiting for permission, waiting to have the total picture, waiting for all the finances to be there, waiting for your team to all be on the same page? Instead of waiting for the perfect conditions, what's one action you can take today? Go ahead and share in the chat. What is that one action that you can do today? All right. Question number 3 that came. How can leaders distinguish between healthy caution and fear that quietly keeps them from pursuing opportunities or fulfilling their purpose? This is a really, really good question. You see, what I've found is that healthy caution asks thoughtful questions. Healthy caution. It's okay to step back and say, I don't understand everything that's going on here. I need some more information. Ask questions. Ask thoughtful questions. Thoughtful questions are ones that help you to go below the superficial, helps you to get down to the root, that helps you to be able to see not just the moment, but the bigger picture. Fear, sometimes fear stands for false evidence appearing real, or it could also stand for face everything and rise. I love both of them. Fear, you will find, will invent endless reasons for you to stay where you are. I want you to stop and think right now about what conversation is fear having with you? What conversation is fear having with you where it is challenging you to stay right here? What conversation is it saying you don't have what it takes? You'll never be able to get over your past. No one respects or values you. You don't have enough education. You don't have enough. You don't have enough. You don't have enough. Don't do it. It's not going to work out. It never works out. You always, like, what is fear inventing? What is fear saying to you as an endless reason for you to not move forward? Because healthy caution prepares you wisely. Fear keeps you permanently waiting. And leaders, as leaders, we should regularly ask whether hesitation is protecting us. Is it protecting our wisdom, our knowledge base, the skill sets and gifts and talents that we already have? Or is hesitation protecting our comfort? It's a really good question. And they say every month, at least one day out of the month, we should sit and have a conversation with ourselves where we do an assessment, where we ask ourselves what is real, what is true, what is honest, what needs to happen in this season right now. And that's a great time to be able to sit and just analyze my hesitation to move forward, the things that I'm challenged with right now. Are my reactions, my responses, are they protecting the wisdom, the talent, the gifts, or are they protecting my comfort? Really good question. Examine whether your hesitation is rooted in discernment or in avoidance. Notice that word examine, assess, reflect, focus, hone in. Examine whether your hesitation to move forward is rooted in discernment. Examine whether your hesitation to be responsible. Examine whether your hesitation is rooted in discernment. This is what I need to do for right now, for this season, or if it's rooted in avoidance. Next question, number 4. I love this. Definitely put your comments in the chat. Share your responses with me. I want to know what's resonating with you today. Next question. When unexpected setbacks disrupt our plans, how can we remain anchored to our purpose without becoming discouraged or losing hope? This is a really great question as well. Thanks so much for asking. So here are my thoughts. Purpose is larger than any single setback. I want you to think about that. Purpose is larger than any single setback. I know that so many times we believe that our setbacks, our mistakes, what we don't have is larger than our purpose, where we're going, the gifts and talents, what we have to utilize right now. But the truth is, purpose is larger than any setback that you may have. And often the plan changes, right? The plans change, but the mission remains the same. And I've learned over the years that setbacks can serve the purpose of redirection. Setbacks can redirect us without defeating us. Hear me. Setbacks have the ability to redirect you without defeating you if, notice the if we remain anchored to our values rather than our expectations. Ooh, that's a good word right there. Setbacks have the possibility, the ability to redirect you, to turn you around into the right direction, to help you to reframe your thoughts, to reframe your vision, to reframe your current situation. Because your setback shouldn't have the power to defeat if you remain anchored, tied to, committed, respectful to your values rather than to your expectations. What do you think about that? I want to hear from you. Go ahead and share with me in the chat what is resonating with you as you contemplate how your setbacks have the ability to redirect you. Because some of life's greatest opportunities begin where our original plans end. Say that one more time. Some of life's greatest opportunities begin where our original plan ends. And it's so important to remember that we have to separate temporary disappointment from permanent purpose. Yeah. Separate temporary disappointment, how you feel right now, separate that from permanent purpose. This is still where I'm going because purpose outlasts circumstances. This is key right here. We've got to remember this life is a journey, leadership is a journey, success is a journey, learning and growth is a journey, and your purpose will outlast your circumstances. Another question that I received is this one. I love this one. What daily habits help people stay grounded, hopeful, and intentional while navigating seasons of uncertainty? What daily habits help leaders to stay grounded, hopeful, and intentional while navigating seasons of uncertainty? All right. So here's what I found are some daily habits that tend to be really helpful to help us stay grounded. Number one, I believe that grounded leaders intentionally invest in practices that renew us emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I want you to hear me out. The word that I'm focusing on here is intentionally invest. Two words. Intentionally invest. Grounded leaders intentionally invest. That means intentionally make the time, intentionally set as a priority. Intentional, not always easy, but you notice the word daily habits. Habits like reflection. Could be in the morning when you first wake up. They say that whatever you reflect on in the first 20 minutes of your day sets the tone for how you're going to continue to move forward through that day. So if you wake up in the morning and your first thought is, oh my gosh, it's raining, it's so terrible, everything's going to be bad. If you wake up in the morning saying, oh my gosh, I still have that to-do list. These are all things I didn't get done. Today's going to be such a crazy full day. Guess what? You're going to go through the day and it's going to be a crazy full day with negativity because that's how you started off the day. And something good, wonderful, miraculous could happen to you through the day. You will see it as temporary. Why? Because you started off the day with a mindset that had negativity with it. So daily habits include reflection. Daily habits include gratitude. You want to go ahead this week and give yourself a gratitude challenge. Before you go to bed today, just simply take 5 to 10 minutes and reflect on what are 2 or 3 good things that happened to you. What are 2 or 3 things that you have to be grateful for? You're alive. That's one. That's a given, right? Family, friends, you made it safely from work today. You have a job. You had food to eat, clothes on your back. Like today, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Tomorrow, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. The third day, 3 to 4. Then you keep on adding. You will notice that as you continue to focus on gratitude, the lens in which you're operating with and you're seeing life through will begin to change. And you'll begin to see opportunities that are all around you, even in the midst of adversity or trying times. Daily habits, reflection, gratitude, prayer, or meditation. Take some time to just be quiet. and pray. Trust, hope, believe. Exercise is really important. They say that whenever we find ourselves angry or anxious or frustrated, if you do 10 to 15 minutes of some sort of cardio, it could be leading wall push-ups, it could be marching in place, it could be taking yourself to the gym and going getting a full workout, jumping into a Zumba class, exercise, going for a walk in your neighborhood. It is so beneficial. You do 10 to 15 minutes of some sort of cardio. What it does is it pushes out the negative endorphins and it opens up the space for you to have hope. Hope stands for have only positive expectations. You want to maintain your hope. Get some exercise. Inhale, exhale, breathe, right? Reading, meaningful relationships. You know, we live in a world right now where many relationships are not meaningful. Many relationships are transactional, but that's not what lasts. You want to take some time to give yourself room and space to cultivate, to develop, and to enjoy meaningful relationships. Journaling. It's really good to take time to reflect. And many times when we stop and we write things down, that gives us an opportunity to, one, get it out. Number two, read and see, this is what's going on in my life right now, but then come back to it in the future to be able to see the progress, to see how you've been able to move forward. Precious. And finally, take time to rest. Rest is so important. You cannot keep going like an Energizer bunny. At some point, you're going to burn out. So I want to invite you to protect time for rest as a daily habit. All right. Next question. This question came to me. It says, looking back on your own journey, can you share a season of uncertainty that ultimately became one of your greatest periods of growth? I love that question. Looking back on my own journey, what is one season of uncertainty that ultimately became one of my periods of growth? Yeah, absolutely. So, I have often found, especially over these last several years, that I need to trust challenging seasons. They don't feel good. But what I found recently is that in the midst of the challenging seasons, there was something there that was like fertile ground. It was ground for me to change, to assess, to learn, to be quiet, to adjust, and to move forward. And move forward into periods of growth. When you come out of challenging seasons, we always come out stronger. We come out wiser, more informed. We come out more focused. So that's what it taught me. Looking back, uncertainty became the place where my resilience developed, where my priorities became clearer, and where my purpose became more refined. And I challenge you. I challenge you to consider that some of our greatest growth happens during seasons that we would never have chosen. Go ahead and put a what in the chat if you agree, even if you're watching this on the replay. So many times our greatest growth happens during seasons that we would have never chosen. We all want that promotion. We want to lead the team, right? Many of us aspire to be the CEO, right? To be one of the top executives in the C-suite. But you know what? We've got to start and then learn. And please do not cancel, abort, throw away the seasons of learning. The tough times, the uncomfortable times, those are there many times to give us an opportunity to remove things that need to be removed and to add in the things that need to be added in so that we're ready as we truly move forward. And then finally, the last question that came to me was this. If someone listening or watching today feels uncertain about their future, their career, or their calling, what is one piece of encouragement that you would offer to help them keep moving forward with purpose? I love this question. Thank you so much. Well, here's my answer. One piece of advice that I would give is don't confuse uncertainty with failure. Don't confuse uncertainty with failure. Just because you can't see the entire path, that doesn't mean that you're on the wrong one. Keep taking faithful steps. Keep on learning. Keep on growing. Keep on serving, because the future becomes clearer as you keep moving forward with purpose, one step at a time. So concentrate on today's next right decision. Today's next right decision means maybe you're going to shut off that computer and you're going to go to sleep a little bit earlier and get some rest so you can wake up in the morning sharp and ready to move forward. Today's next right decision means maybe there's a conversation that you've been avoiding that you need to have, that you need to today make the decision. You're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call. Today's next right decision, like you know what that is. So concentrate on today's next right decision rather than trying to solve your entire future today. This has been great. I have really enjoyed answering the questions on how do we stay anchored in uncertainty. And if today's conversation inspired you, encouraged you, then I'm inviting you to join our community of leaders. You see, every week here on Transformation Station Leadership Podcast, we bring you inspiring conversations with leaders and authors and coaches and entrepreneurs, military personnel, and change makers like yourself who share practical wisdom to help you and I to lead with greater clarity and courage and purpose. You can find us on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. You can listen on Buzzsprout and Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Amazon Music and pretty much anywhere you enjoy podcasts. So I want to tell you about a few things that we have coming up before we wrap up. Now, really important. This week, we put out for the first time the first edition of the Mobilizing Leadership Briefing. Every month, the leadership briefing will come out. This month, we focus on leading without lowering your standards. Now, how do you get that briefing? You need to, one, join the YouTube channel. You can subscribe. The one that we just posted this week is here and available for you. And in this briefing, you are going to get practical tips and leadership best practices on the theme for that month, which this month, again, we taught a lesson and we shared resources for how do we lead without lowering your standards. I invite you to join us every month for the briefing. Next, this coming Sunday, July 12th, 8 p.m. CET. CET is European time, or 2 p.m. EST, which is in the United States. We are meeting for prayer. We have the Mobilizing Prayer Circle. It meets once a month, a wonderful time where we come together, we share a devotion, we do prayer requests, testimonies, and then we pray together and we go about 30 minutes. But every month that we have been meeting, I'm telling you, we have been able to experience miracles taking place in the lives of those who are joining us. So you want to join us? What you need to do is go to mobilizingwithimpact.com and go to the events tab right there. You'll be able to get the Zoom link so that you can join us this coming Sunday on July 12th. And as always, I invite you to not keep this to yourself, but to bring someone else with you. Now, we also have on July 19th, we have our next Lead Her Shift webinar with Christine Valdez. Christine Valdez is going to be our guest presenter. And again, we're focusing on the theme for this month, which is leading without lowering your standards. She will come, she will present, and then we'll have a time of question and answers. And again, the community that learns together grows together. You can find the link for the registration link for the webinar in the description box here on whatever platform you are watching. Click on that link, fill out the registration, and get the Zoom link so you can join us. And again, bring someone with you. And then finally, we have the Mobilizing with Impact newsletter. Once a month, we send out a newsletter that also has amazing resources that you can put in your leadership library and use today. If you have not received the Mobilizing with Impact newsletter, once again, I invite you to go to www.mobilizingwithimpact.com and join the community so that we can send you the newsletter and you can join a community of leaders that are ready to engage and continue walking the journey with you. I want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share this time and space with you. If you have been inspired, I'm inviting you right now. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. This helps us to move the algorithm and be seen in multiple places. If you are listening, I invite you to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, leave a review for us on Buzzsprout, and share these episodes with another leader. And remember, leadership is not about having every answer. It's about having the courage to take the next faithful step. So until next time, keep growing, keep leading, and keep transforming from the inside out.